It's round 3 of the 2020 Major League Rugby season, and the fast-paced action continues from Circuit of the Americas here in Austin, Texas, where the home side, the Austin Gilgronis, take on the Utah Warriors. Let's have a look at the league standings so far. 3 undefeated teams remain after 2 rounds. The San Diego Legion, Toronto Arrows, and Rugby ATL, all 2-0. But perhaps the biggest storyline is last year's champions, the Seattle Seawolves, 0-2. Some of the other key matchups this weekend: Old Glory DC take on the Houston Sabercats, and the Toronto Arrows clash with the Seattle Seawolves. And tomorrow, Rugby United New York take on Rugby ATL. Hello everyone, and welcome to Bold Stadium here at Circuit of the Americas. I'm James Patterson, joined alongside former Australian Sevens international star Mark Stabina. Mark, we have a good matchup tonight. This Austin team has been trending in the right direction over the last few weeks. A lot of changes to begin with, taking on a red-hot Utah Warriors side who dispatched a very good New England Free Jacks side last weekend.
They did indeed, James. Thank you so much. Great to be here. Intriguing battle tonight. 2 teams desperately trying to turn around their dismal seasons of 2019. Utah already on the right track with a big win against the Free Jacks last week. Austin, they're winless after 2 matches, but they're in good shape. They have players coming back. They showed some promise against 2 quality outfits in rounds 1 and 2, and also they have the home ground advantage tonight. So they're in good shape to win their first game of the season.
What are some of the keys to tonight's game for both sides?
Yeah, well, keys to victory for Austin are a lower penalty count. They were double that of New York. They're going to have to fix that, especially with the kicking accuracy of Hagen Schultz for Utah. And if they play with a more connected, resilient frontline defense, they can frustrate the big runners of Utah, and they'll need to chase every kick with a solid, committed line in order to contain the counter-attacking firepower of the Utah back 3. For Utah, they had some trouble last week losing 3 of their own scrums, so they'll need to remedy that, especially with Jamie McIntosh coming in for Austin. And if they can play with speed and recycle ball quickly and also be patient to string together some phases of attack, they may create some havoc in the Austin defense, just as New York did last week.
There have been a few big-name additions to both sides. Who do you see as the key players to look out for tonight?
Certainly a battle of the 10s tonight. There we see Zinzan Ilan Paddock. Yeah, he played really well last week. Most of the season he played at 15, and he's got a great kicking game, and he really likes to attack the line as well, creating opportunities for his support players. I expect to see him everywhere tonight. And for Utah, we have a newcomer to the 2020 season, Hagen Schultz. He's the current league top point scorer, and he has a deadly boot on him. He has New Zealand, Scottish, and German rugby experience, and so far he's been a valuable acquisition to this Utah outfit.
There's plenty to look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're just moments away from kickoff.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's, we're all together in this class, but there's no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here, from person to person. We'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the 2 people really ties the whole gym together.
rugby fans. Rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
Welcome back to Bold Stadium here at Circuit of the Americas, and we are just about set for kickoff. Let's talk about the lineup today, Mark Stabina.
Thanks, James. Yes, for Austin, there's a new signing. Jamie McIntosh jumps straight into the front row. One of 3 personnel changes in the pack. Tiana Rasmus gets his first start of the season at hooker, as does Mo Abdelmanam at 7. And Gabe Farley is the only change in the backs, being promoted from the bench. For Utah, the head coach, Chris Latham, has made 3 changes to his Warriors lineup from last week's victory over the Free Jacks. Former USA under-20 winger James Vaifali makes his MLR debut in place of Tongan veteran Fetz Vainikolo, and Tyler Fisher is called back into the midfield, and Canadian international Robbie Povey is given his first start at fullback.
As we look out in the middle, we have referee Mike O'Brien for tonight. Obviously, he has experience at the international level with the IRB 7 circuit, as Schulte kicks us off, and it's a good deep kick. Taken at the back by Tagive. Austin looking to set up a shield here. And the clearance kick goes down towards the 40-meter line. Good intent to play quickly, but that was a good exit strategy from this Austin side.
That was not a bad clearance either. Just over the 40-meter line. It's a good start for Austin, and Utah, though, they have some good field position and territory early on.
Stay. 1 step, please.
The Utah team has been good at the set piece, good at the line out. Cullen and Jensen are 2 tall options, as that is secure, and they let us set up the ball. Referee said it was sacked legally.
Step.
Pull out of Al. Strong carry by McClellan. Looking to generate quick ball here, coming around the corner, same way. Met in a crunching tackle, that was Wilson. Moving the ball nicely, straightening run from Fisher. Getting over the gain line and earning the penalty. This is something that cost Austin dearly last weekend.
You're right, James. As we said in the keys to victory, they're going to have to reduce this penalty count. Straight away, they've given away a crucial penalty. And for the reason of Hagen Schulte, his boot, I mean, 40 meters out, this is child's play for him, so they're going to have to be more disciplined for the rest of the game.
One wonders, you look at this Austin side, they give up the most amount of 3-second ball in the leagues. What that means is they're not slowing down the ball enough, and you think you train it. You have to train to try and slow the ball down, and that's when those infringements creep in. Schulte, very accurate kicker. We saw him before the game, slotting from all around the park. Kick is up. Just floating with the right upright, so his first attempt is wide. It will be an Austin 22.
So it was a let off for Austin there, James, but they know that he's going to attempt kicks from there.
Deep kick. Well fielded at the back. Schulte, he looks to put the up and under up. Excellent chase coming. That's Vaifali. Vaifali goes up. Good contest for it. And it is a knock-on, so Austin have the advantage. And there's McIntosh with his first carry. Torrealba marshalling his troops around the corner. Looking to play out the back. Good attack here. Here's Tagive. Tagive is a hard man to put down, but well taken in defense. And losing the ball. They've got to be better about field position.
Yeah, obviously very ambitious, running the ball out, trying to keep the ball in hand. They just trying to get a few more yards before their exit strategy. They want to get over the 22. But again, as you mentioned, and you just see here, it's just this little lapse. Strong contest, but you really got to hold on the ball in those contact situations.
I don't mind the intent. They had the advantage. They wanted to go out wide. They've got danger men on the outside to give a. You've got Jones, you've got Waters. So plenty of attacking scope.
Well, it's good to see. It's good to see that they're showing some confidence and a little ambition and trying to run out of their half. So you're right, it's coming back to the scrum. So let's see what they do this time.
This will be a big first scrum. They're really relying on this big addition. You have an all-black front rower, Jamie McIntosh. He's played over 100 provincial games in New Zealand, almost 100 Super Rugby games, has a wealth of experience.
He's going to add some solidarity, much needed in this scrum. And as we mentioned before, James, you said plenty of big signings still to come for Austin, and he's just one of them.
Tori Elba, good solid base. Much better scrum here. Sanatoga at the back. They'll just go straight into the hands of Jones. Jones is a dangerous runner. Although he runs out of bounds, the Cardinals sin for a winger.
That is a coach's pet hate, let me tell you. When wingers run over the sideline, it's...
As a winger, you want that ball, though. Straight from the base, one-on-one on the short side, although it was very well defended by this Utah team. An overthrow at the back. Erasmus throws the ball out, and it's just hacked off the left foot by Zinzan. That is a good kick by Ilan Paddock. Driving Utah back, and they're going to try and carry out. Dangerous. Vaifale does well, though. Buying time for his support. Little tips. Oh, met in a crunching tackle. That was Lavasa.
Inside.
Yep. Coming in from the side, says the referee, the right call. They did all the right things, putting the pressure on, just gave away the penalty. They had him under pressure inside the 22.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, James. Again, they did some great work to keep Utah down. They had the kick chase. We mentioned that was going to be a key to victory. They did everything right, but just then, again, that ill discipline.
And here's a costly mistake. Here's Silva coming back. Plenty of international experience from that man. Puts up a high up and under. Schulte is back underneath it. Taken well. Taken in a good tackle by Waters. And earning the penalty. Incorrect entry, says the referee, so perhaps the first point scoring opportunity for Austin.
Yeah, straight back into part of the field that they want to be. Again, another great kick chase. Brilliant tackle by Waters. That's given his team now a chance to score the first points of this match.
That is Marcelo Torrealba, the Chilean national team. Him and actually Jamie McIntosh share something in common. He spent a little stint down in Southland, New Zealand at high school. So Jamie McIntosh is pretty much in statue by the airport in Southland. He's a very popular man down there. Torrealba perfect on the season so far. 100% on his goal kicking. And pretty good conditions tonight, Mark. Not any excuses.
And a lot better than round one here at Bold Stadium. Torrential rain.
Torrealba. Kick is up, rounding, and straight through the upright. So the lead, early lead, goes to Austin. 3 points to 0. Came from some good pressure at the breakdown.
Did James, and that's all they need to do. Just show some patience. It was a great kick chase. Kept Utah in the area of the field they wanted to, and this man is just on fire. Still 100% for the season. So if they can just put him in the right area of the field, let him do the work.
Schulte drives this very deep. Taken by Waters. He's a dangerous player. Former Western State football player. Austin look to set themselves here. Nice quick carry. That is Akina. He's held up though. This is good defense. This is Cullen and Jensen in over the ball. They need to play this, otherwise it will be a turnover. Somehow they managed to get the ball back.
Take him back.
Silva tries to hook it back towards the touchline and does so. That is a good clearance kick. He was under immense pressure then.
Great kick from Silva. It looked ugly in the air, but to get that ball away under pressure, and he's brought it all the way over the halfway line, that's just, especially as a forward, that's what you want to see, that kind of clearance in this kind of territory.
It's well done by Utah. It looked like they had held the ball up, but Austin did well to get the ball back. They looked to set the rolling maul back down the sideline. The ball is at the back and available. The two-man maul. Oh, and then, yep, they created separation there, so that is an obstruction penalty. Good call from referee O'Brien.
Yeah, it was. Just getting a little loose there in the drive as they broke free. Small obstruction there.
Obstruction on Utah.
It was well defended by Austin to create that penalty.
Silva drives the ball down towards the 22-meter line. So to start this match, Austin is playing at the right end of the field.
Well, they have the kickers to do it. So you just need to, again, show that patience. And as long as they can remain disciplined and not give away the penalties, put the pressure on Utah, force the penalties out of them, and just play in this area of the field early on and build the score, James.
Yeah, we've seen this year, a lot of these games, the competitive level of Major League Rugby just keeps stepping up, even with the addition of new sides. So you've got to take every scoring opportunity you have. Lavasa takes the ball at the back. They set up the maul. Erasmus has the ball. Looking to will this forward, but it's well defended as they roll it around the corner. Erasmus still has the ball. Erasmus heading down towards the 10-meter line. This is better work. Here's Peterson, strong carry, tips it across to McIntosh. Looking to play the same direction. Skips the ball goes in behind. This is dangerous stuff here. Having to clean up at the back is Silva. Waters looking for work off his left wing. Tries to carry the ball strong, but being held up in a good tackle from Utah. That's Fisher. Going backwards here. Austin, a little show and go by Ilan Paddock. He did that well last weekend. He's a dangerous runner. And it has been stolen. Turnover to Utah.
Leave it now, leave it now, leave it. Let it come. No.
And then they give away the silly penalty there, Austin. See, Austin doing everything right, but just ill-discipline at the breakdown. Not a good clean out, and they were able to turn that ball over, Utah.
Well, James, it all started with the line speed and defense from Utah. They've done their homework on Paddock. They know that he likes to take his time. He likes to attack the line and have a bit of freedom. They shut him down in that occasion, and they forced the turnover. He didn't have anywhere to go. Put a lot of pressure on Paddock there, so he might have to just step back a yard or two as the game progresses.
Is that something strategically you do? You know that 10 likes to jam away from the support. You show him that inside shoulder just to get him to tempt him to go back on the inside?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, like I said, they've definitely watched him in the last couple of games and know he's a danger runner.
Ball at the back. Vugakoto has the ball, and they do have a penalty advantage. Vanderberg.
Still playing advantage.
Referee's still playing advantage. So they have a free play here if they can get the ball out and use it.
Let it come now, leave it.
Nope, they will come. Coming in from the side, says the referee. That was against Mason Pedersen. So an opportunity here for Schulte to drive the ball inside the 22 and see this Utah attack.
Just give me something on that chili, yeah? On that chili.
Well, they've started the game very similar. Although their lead on the scoreboard, giving away these penalties and letting the opposition in the game was something they did last week against New York. And New York raced away to a handy lead, and it was just too hard for Austin to come back. Despite their fight back, it was too little too late. So they really need to be careful here. They need to start a lot better than last week.
Just that ill-discipline. It only takes a couple loose penalties to see yourself 2 tries behind on the scoreboard. Vuganoko, well taken as they roll them all off the back. The ball's there. Van Vuren has it, and he's dropped in the ball in the pit. Yep, referees say advantage on. Carrying strong at the line is Whiting. Schulte, little chip over the top. Where will the bounce go? Straight into Schulte's hands. Schulte heading towards the line. Reaches, he's just short. And the penalty, yes, and this may be cynical play here. The referee, O'Brien, is going to have a word.
They had the advantage, and that's why you see Schulte thought, why not? I'm just going to tow it ahead. He did brilliantly. Painfully close to the try line. Let's have a listen.
9 picked up, so he can play him, right?
Here, yes. But we're going back for the advantage. Right. Now listen. Too many penalties in this area. Yeah, no more warnings at all. Thank you.
So lucky there from this Austin side. It looked like Schulte could have actually just reached at one stage for the goal line, but he's looking for the offload, but showing why he's such a dangerous player.
He is not just a super boot, but with the ball in hand. Clever little kick, and as we said, he did have the advantage, but still that takes nothing away from the execution. And as you heard Mike O'Brien before, I mean, he's just reiterating what we're saying up here in the booth, James. Just too many penalties in this area. He's obviously saying it from the standpoint of, be careful because I'm going to reach into my pocket and get a yellow card out soon if you keep it up. With regards to the game and the swing of the match, doesn't bode well for Austin either that they've let Utah back in this kind of position.
And Utah, with the good line out and driving ball, have a brilliant opportunity. About 5 out from the goal line. We see Ratu Vugukoto to throw. Well taken by Jensen. Yeah, all over him in the air, and this may be enough for the referee. He is reaching to his pocket, and it is the new man, Jamie McIntosh, is going to spend 10 minutes in the sin bin. They were warned.
They were, and it's just, I mean, what a blow, especially to lose a front row player. Someone of the caliber of McIntosh, which Austin were really relying on to bring his experience, and that might be enough of an opening now for Utah to regain this lead. Austin really have, they're up against it here to hold Utah out.
Cullen. Ball does drop back. It is at the back with Vugukoto, and the Maul is driving towards the goal line. Coming in through the side, and the referee is playing advantage.
Come out.
Still ball in hand with Vugukoto. They need to try and get the ball back. They have a free play here. The backs are lining out to the right.
Listen. From the side, yeah? Behavior's not changing. I already sent somebody off.
Yep, was that on there? 3?
It's number 3.
So, but you let him come through and then you let him play till right then and then you call
playing
it?
advantage, yeah?
Yep.
So what I need him to do is make sure...
Okay, can you get an early call for that?
Thank you.
Just hear the dialogue between referee O'Brien there and Elan Puddick.
Come on.
Yeah, Puddick just challenging the consistency of Mike O'Brien's instructions there and his calls. But on that occasion, it was Mason Peterson. He's asking, he's gone through the side, come through the side a couple of times. And that just, again, that comes from, we can't take anything away from Utah and the way that they're attacking. They're applying the pressure, and it's forcing this ill discipline at the moment. They've been brilliant from the line out, bring it down in the drive. It's just Austin need to figure out a way to defend that. Do they not contest in the air and just try and get that sack, that big tackle straight away? And Peterson is a good man for that. Because at the moment, they're kind of in the middle and allowing Utah to get that drive on.
Of course, because of that yellow card offense by McIntosh, they're going to have to go to the bench here. So Luca Tani will come on in the number 19 jersey. Good call here by Utah. The numerical advantage. It doesn't look like Austin has put it back in the scrum, so the pressure will be on this Austin pack. Holding well, though. Now the shove comes on. Van Buren has it at the back. Tori Elbers giving away the penalty advantage here. Politaveo knocks the ball on, and yes, offside position there. Tori Elbers just a little bit too eager.
I think they were lucky to get away with a penalty there. But they'll pack down again, and they'll, with no doubt, attempt the same thing, James.
If you're Austin here, you've got to put it back in that scrum. You've got to get some extra weight on there. You can play your fullback up on the line when you're in goal line defense. So numerically, you can always play an up and out. Doesn't look like they're going to do it. It's not something you often train, though, but it's something that you need to prepare for these situations. An extra man in a scrum is a huge weight advantage.
Well, it's a tough ask for Echeverria as well. I'm sure he's not warm. He's raced onto the field and packed the scrum straight away.
Crouch.
He's under immense pressure right now.
Bind.
As you said, with a little less weight
Set.
in support. Big ask for Austin.
Trying to hold up and folding in under the pressure. Yeah, he's going to have to watch out here. It's good scrummaging from McClellan on this side.
Both sides down here. Reset. Just hold, yeah. Both sides hold down. You just stay straight.
You have to hook, right? Patient the big one. I am hooked. Let's go. Hey, boys, let's go. Big pressure, bro.
As we listen to some of this front row communication, as outside backs and backs, we had no idea what was going on in the front row.
Crouch.
It's all Greek to me, James.
Good shot there. Vladivao. The feed. Again, the pressure of having the extra man advantage and a relatively large Utah pack. They're big across the board, this Utah side.
Yeah, just a little bit of footing.
Yeah, some big boys, but Austin have their fair share of beef in there as well. Got some good reinforcements in the second row. Leavasa and Naramai Tonga.
Crouch.
As we see in behind, you've got James Fafale sitting in behind the scrum. Vladivao has options either way, and the free kick goes. Looks to pass to Van Buren. Van Buren stood up in a solid tackle by Ilan Paddock. Slips the ball, diving towards the line. Referee says, yes, the try was scored.
Just too much pressure applied by Utah there. It was a matter of time, really. A couple of reset scrums, options left and right, but it was the penalty and the quick tap just raising the tempo of the game. Good effort with the tackle coming in, but Utah doing extremely well to keep that ball alive. That's the first try of the match.
Try scored by Utah.
And it looks like it was number 9, Vladivao. So he got the ball back from Van Buren. Van Buren was met in a very solid tackle from the number 10, Ilan Paddock, but just reward for building pressure and the numerical advantage. It wasn't if it was going to happen, it was when it was going to happen.
It's tough to ask any team to hold out with a man in the bin for that amount of time.
Schulte adds the extra 2, and that will take us to the water break.
Point after.
We'll be right back in a few moments with more action.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that a little bit of, there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's, we're all together in this class, but there's no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here. From person to person, we'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
Rhino Rugby is the official ball and technical equipment supplier of Major League Rugby. Visit rhinorugby.com today for all your rugby needs. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Bold Stadium. After the hydration break, it is the Utah Warriors leading the Austin Gilgronis.
The Gilgronis. New look, new name, new stadium.
Yeah, they are.
It's been massive change since last season, looking to turn around their dismal winless season of 2019.
Silva, high contestable restart, chasing after it was Akina. The ball did go backwards, so here is Waters. He's a very dangerous runner. Looking to get something going. Peterson, deft hands onto Erasmus. Just rolling for the extra meter. Good go forward ball here. Puttock, 2 offside. There's Naramatonga. Strong carry. Austin does have an advantage. A little bit messy. Ilan Puttock having to go back for it yet. Referee says no advantage there.
You've seen them be flirting with that offside line for most of the game. They're really keen to get up, get their line speed, and get a jump on this Austin attack. They like to play rather flat already. So it's an invitation for that line speed just to get up and put pressure on, but referee says you're a little bit too close for comfort for me and gave the penalty. So now an opportunity for Austin.
Thank you, Butch.
Great attacking opportunity.
There's you. Your front.
They are still down a player. McIntosh shouldn't be very far from rejoining the team.
5. How many got? 5? Hey, Black, I give you the mark. Step off. 1. Step off, please.
Great attacking opportunity. So you see Tian Erasmus there. 23-year-old South African gets the ball up, but it's untidy at the back. Vandenberg has to go back and clean up over the ball, and he does. Need to create a little bit of separation here so they can clear. Cullen. Tuavo.
Thank you. 5. Step.
Ball back under a lot of pressure. Forced onto the left foot is Schulte, and he does an excellent job with that clearance kick.
Great kick from inside the try zone. Maybe not the distance that they would have hoped, but from there, even just that relief getting over the 22 is enough to give Utah some breathing space.
Starts with the line out. They need to take care of it, and they do. Lots of pressure coming. Tori Alba looks, jinks and jives. Gets the ball off.
Step.
Again, lots of pressure from this Utah defense. Naramatonga offloads. Puttock steps off the left. Runs it to 2 players. Not going anywhere here. They need to straighten up as Erasmus does. Torrealba back to the short side. There's Lavasa met in a crunching tackle from Wilson. Going backwards here, Austin. As Silva carries down the short side. Vasa just trying to fall forward, generate any forward momentum. Naramatonga says, I will, as he lowers his shoulder over the top, but Van Buren is all over that ball and able to turn the ball over. But in the process, just knocks it on.
It was a great original effort from Van Buren. I think it was Naramatonga just got himself isolated. Good idea to go from the side of the ruck, as you see here, but he was isolated. That was a problem. He knew where he was going, but his support players didn't. He got himself isolated, which allowed for the turnover, but then, fortuitously for Austin, they were able to get the ball back.
How about the pressure from this Warriors defense? It's putting Austin under an enormous amount of stress on attack.
That is, you know, they've made their intention known, James. They want to get off the line and just suffocate this attack. But Austin, they can change their play and slow down this line speed. For example, maybe a little kick over the top from Puttock. He's got the skills. That's a good way to slow down any line speed. They start to think twice about racing up. They might have to now reconfigure their cover defense as well. Just change them up a little bit, get them out of their comfort zone. Maybe a step deeper and some second wave defense, you know, with the decoy runner, throw a ball behind. We've seen Austin, they have that in their armory. It's time to change things up a little.
Yeah, it is. It's exhausting to defend like that, but it is also exhausting for the attack to always be going backwards as they were. Torrealba, the ball spits out the back. They look to go down the short side. The ball is in behind. Referee says the ball went backwards. Play on. Met in a solid tackle, though, as Torrealba. Just a lack of execution there.
It was, and you could see that just snowballed then.
Time off, please.
Rather than just taking their medicine, you'll see it was Torrealba's ball. The scrum just went behind Silva there, and that was actually a knock on for mine. So he was lucky that that wasn't called, and then just the desperation. It's almost like they switched off as soon as they felt they didn't execute that well. You can't do that because Utah, with this defense, they'll sniff blood and they will just come through and try and force more errors.
Fugukoto. Ball goes up, and that is Cullen, taken well at the back. This rolling maul has worked well for the Warriors. Vladival shapes to kick.
Five. Push them in, buddy.
Still moving the ball, flirting with the touchline as they roll the ball around. This is excellent work. It's stolen, though, from Saratoga. Flicks the ball out. Here's Akina. He's rapid. On the counterattack, Lavasa throws a loose pass, though, straight into the hands of Vaifale. And it's just back and forth stuff here as Silva looks to banana kick this downfield. And here is Gannon Moore, second most running meters in the competition. Came off his foot, says the referee. Straightening, running into Tagive, though. Solid tackle. Messy stuff from both sides here. There is the educated boot of Schulte, finds the green grass, puts Austin under pressure as Waters looks to retrieve from the back. Waters sets off upfield, steps off the left foot. Still going, not held in the tackle. Now a bit of front foot ball for this Austin side. Akina, and again, just skills letting them down. But it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a consultation on the sideline here for maybe some loose play.
13, please.
He's got some wheels, Waters.
Thank you.
Just want to listen to the referee and see what's happening as we watch the replay. Just having a look there, Corey Jones of the defence took his eye off the ball for a second, even though it wasn't the best of passes, but Austin still with possession.
Another clear example there, that was Abdelman. But just basic skills are letting them down. How many times in this game has there been a pass that's gone behind the player or down at their ankles? They just need to execute the core fundamentals of the game because otherwise they can't convert any of the pressure. Erasmus to the back. Good take by Jensen. He has hurt himself though in the process. So Utah with a chance to relieve some of this field pressure. Vladival. Nice high kick. There's Jones. Does well at the back, Jones. Gets up and shoots off downfield. Front foot ball here. This is good attacking opportunity. Silva. Off the left foot was Ilan Parik. Navasa lowers his shoulder, looks to go forward. Driven over the line by Akina. This is better play. Saratoga leads the league in offloads. Unable to free his hands, and here's Naramaitonga.
Block away.
Messi at the back though, slow ball. Taking the sting out of this attack, allowing the Utah defense to get on the front foot. Looks to free the arms, taking one or two defenders with him though. There's that second man play. Silva to Give. He's a strong ball carrier. He looks to free his arms, does well. Can't find Waters on the first attempt, and he is absolutely electric. Look at him go upfield.
7.
Not releasing the tackle player, but that's some dynamic running from Waters.
So rapid, he's like a little ball of springs. And I would venture to say
Stay there, stay there. Okay, stay.
You'd want to try and utilize the pace and the agility of Waters. He's doing just a lot of cleanup work at the moment, so it'd be great to see him when he's actually got a decent set piece or something where he gets an opportunity to really let loose.
Yeah.
On me.
Another good attacking opportunity inside the 22. Erasmus will want to take care of this. So far this season, their lineout's only at 64%, which is the lowest in the league. Up at the front, lots of pressure again from Utah, and Utah's come away with the ball. Cullen to McClellan. Playing out the second line there. The ball does find deck, though. Whiting carries outside the 22 and just taken in a high tackle there. So really good opportunity for Utah to relieve some of this pressure.
Well, you can see, James, it's really Austin that's relieving the pressure for them. They put the pressure on, and their line-out is really struggling at the moment. They've had opportunity after opportunity, and they just given the ball away on a couple of occasions, letting Utah off the hook. They're doing the right things to get into the right part of the field, and then just relieving the pressure valve from some poor execution at set piece.
Tell you what, Jensen and Cullen are creating lots of havoc in this line-out. They're doing very well reading the somewhat predictable attack from this Austin side in the line-outs.
Second. Thank you.
So not much going the last 10 or 15 minutes here. A little bit of battle of field position, but for both sides, just basic fundamental execution is letting them down.
There's clinical with these, yeah?
Yeah, that's true. And again, a very high penalty count, particularly courtesy of Austin as well.
Keep an eye on them.
It's definitely something that the coaches will be addressing at half-time in the changing rooms.
Drop out. You stay too.
Van Buren goes up, and that ball was nowhere near straight by Vugakoto. So they didn't take him long there to call for the scrum, did it, Mark?
Mason loves his scrums. He's got a lot of confidence in his pack, especially with McIntosh coming in. You see him there in the #1 jersey. Loose head prop. Would provide a good attacking platform for this back line, who they have oodles of speed and talent. As you said before, they just need the opportunity and they need to execute.
Tori Albert to feed.
Stay close. Use it, let it go.
He says use it. Plays off the front foot. Here's Farley attacking the line. Farley straightens, tries to run over Palatoval. Able to free through the tackle though. This is better work here. Here's Sanatogi, he's so dangerous. Just Utah doing a good job of slowing the ball down as McIntosh buries his head. Good pressure from Utah and a great tackle from Wilson again. He's been huge so far in this match. Torrealba looking for a short runner. Peterson comes charging onto it. Still going Peterson. Big Mason Peterson.
That's fine, the ball's up.
So Messi at the back, so much pressure. Relentless defense as Silva looks to try and get them on the front foot.
Step.
Tonga held up in the tackle initially, looks to roll and free the ball and does well. McIntosh, short ball. Farley met in a solid tackle, that's Tuavo. Building phase as well. Not going anywhere though, this is Austin attack. Very little options there. Had players in front of him, did Elam Puddock. And they put themselves in a bad position here as Utah look to turn the ball over, and they do. Just no answer to this Utah defense.
Two from the side, then five.
I was originally going to say that's good patience by the Austin team to not get too rattled by this Utah defense. It was pressing, but they started to lose their shape. And you see Utah just keep applying the pressure. Not only do they have a great line speed at the moment, James, but the execution of the tackle as well. There's a lot of sting in their hits. They're trying to hold up the attacking player as well, and just buys them enough time to set their line again to then get off the mark and put more pressure on. Austin need to figure out a way to recycle that ball a lot quicker than they're doing. They've got the right idea though. You see a couple of times that they're giving quick passes, like first receiver, second receiver, shifting the point of attack. I think if they continue to do that, maybe just a step back to give them a little more space, but they have to get hungrier and more aggressive in the contact situation, because at the moment, Utah look more aggressive and they look like they want it more.
I have no idea.
We talked about it earlier. They need to be able to use their educated boot from their first five. get them turned around on defense, get them running back, just break them. At the moment, all the momentum is on Utah. So they feel like they're on the front foot the entire time. And when you're running the shut the gate defense, the outside in defense like that, it's very difficult to get around them.
Hey, and can you go
They're
continue?
doing a good job slowing down the ball as well when Austin does get quick ball. It is Thomas Tuabo. He's just getting him some attention in the backfield. Looks like he's okay to continue. So
Mark here.
Utah with a short line out and a
off.
great attacking opportunity.
Yeah, time on, please. Step off, please. One step, one step. Thank you, half step. Thank you.
Closing in on the final minute of the first half. Cullen checks the ball down, charging onto the ball. It's Whiting. Whiting finds Van Buren. Van Buren spills the ball forward, though, into one of the fastest men at Circuit of the Americas today, Akina. Now a chance on the counter-attack. Naramaitonga just buries his head and drives forward again. Trying to play out the back. Silva there's options here if they can spread the ball. Here's danger. Sanatoga gives it to Waters, but with nowhere to go. And it is knocked on.
There's just 2 knocks.
There is time for the scrum.
Just a little lack of communication out wide. And Waters wasn't quite sure if he comes in on the switch or stays outside, and then there was a panic pass. You'll see here, 2-on-1. Do I come inside? Do I stay outside? And you could just see Sanaitonga just in 2 minds there what Waters wanted to do. But again, showing a lot of ambition and confidence to put the ball through the hand and spread the attack from wing to wing. Once again, just execution letting them down.
This will be the final play of the first half. If you're Austin here, you just need to try and hold them out. Go into the tunnel. 4 points down is not bad considering the lack of possession they've had in the first half.
Straighten up, yeah. You keep drifting over. I just need to straighten up. And I'll keep his balance for you. Okay. Yeah, just stay. Just hold.
Let's go, Bells. Let's go.
Yeah, boys, I can't start unless we're stable. Yeah, so I know there's a lot of pressure.
Come on, boys, let's work here. Work for the race.
You've already seen a massive difference in the solidity of
Crouch.
the Austin scrum. McIntosh coming back on.
Bind. Set. User reset. User reset.
Referee says play on. Schulte out the back. Whiting looks for the wide miss pass. This is better play. Good strong carry on the outside. That was by Farley. Good attacking balls as Van Buren charges on. Tries to split the defense. Back down the blind side. Paladavau.
Penalty advantage. High tackle. Step.
Another penalty advantage, so very costly here for this Austin side as Cullen looks to go over the top. So they have a free play here. The advantage is there. Vandenberg flips the ball out. Referee says no advantage, so they will come back in a handy position too for Schulte.
It'll come back for the original high tackle. I believe it was Tegive. It's the second time he's been penalised for a dangerous high shot. You see the change of direction coming up. Well, that was after the penalty. That was the last play. Still plenty of fight in that Austin team. Trying to return the favour of this pressurising Utah defence. But once again, it's that discipline. Sometimes high tackles are unavoidable, but on this occasion, it was just a sloppy execution. And as a result, you have one of the best kickers in the league, the top point scorer at the moment, with an opportunity to extend his team's lead.
Kickers up, straight down the middle. And that will do it for the first half. At the close of the first half, the Utah Warriors lead the Austin Gilgronis 10 points to 3. We'll be right back in a few moments.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's, we're all together in this class, but there's no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here. From person to person, we'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
Rugby fans, rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
This broadcast is brought to you by WP Engine Beyond Managed WordPress Hosting. Kettlebell Kings, the most reviewed kettlebell on the internet. Solar Winds, solve your toughest IT management problems today. Welcome back. After a tough first half, Mark, the Utah Warriors lead the Austin Gilgronis 10 points to 3. And really, if you're Austin, a first half, we talked about it before the game, ill-disciplined and too many handling errors.
That's right, James. And I think if you look at that score, that's quite flattering for Austin. They probably deserve to be a little bit further behind, or Utah further ahead with more points. So they're still very much in this game, and some fortuitous turnovers kept them in the game, but it was that ill discipline that we talked about. They needed to improve from last week's game. They don't seem to have done that yet, but they are still in this match. So they need to go into the sheds, regroup, have a think about it, maybe shift the way that they're playing their attack at the moment, and how to neutralize this pressurizing quick line speed of Utah. They'll be talking about some tactics as well, maybe resort to the boot of Patek, some clever little kicks, and mix up his play a little rather than just keep the ball in hand all the time. And they're very much in this match, and you see they have flashes of brilliance as they did last week. So it's just about cutting down the penalties.
All excellent points. We're going to take another commercial break. When we come back, we'll break down more first half action. Again, Utah leads the Austin Gilgronis 10 points to 3.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's we're all together in this class, but there is no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here. From person to person, we'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
Rugby fans, rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
Intermountain Healthcare, helping people live the healthiest life possible. The Utah Warriors. The Warriors home opener is March 13th. Tickets available at www.warriorsrugby.com. It's still halftime here at Bold Stadium at Circuit of the Americas, and the Utah Warriors lead the Austin Gilgronis 10 points to 3. We'll be right back in a few moments.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's we're all together in this class, but there is no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here. From person to person, we'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
rugby fans. Rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
Welcome back to Bold Stadium at Circuit of the Americas, where the Utah Warriors lead the Austin Gilgronis 10 points to 3. Mark, second half, if you're the coach, what are your words you're giving your team at halftime if you're the Utah Warriors team?
Yeah, well, the Utah Warriors team, as I mentioned before, I think they'll be having some words saying we should be a little bit further on the scoreboard than we are at 10 points. I think just letting the Gilgronis off the hook. But they just need to keep playing their patterns. I think their defense is working for them, so they'll be just, let's just keep that going. Let's keep putting pressure on, but let's not do it so pressurized that we're offside as well, because you see the referee starting to take notice.
The difficulty is, though, you can't keep up that intensity for 80 minutes. So if you're Austin right now and you're the coaching staff, you're telling the team you've been able to absorb all of this energy that's been exuded by the Utah side, and that's when these guys are going to start to not come up so hard on the outside. That's where that second man play works. That's where the offloads work. So Austin really is in with a good position. As we see the lights go out in the stadium for the laser show spectacle here. All of the Gilgroniacs, as they're called here. Quite a festive environment. That was quite the display of lights, Mark. You can put down your glow sticks now, mate.
Yeah.
Time for rugby. Second half action just about coming.
Welcome to Bold Stadium nightclub here in Austin.
But how good is it to see it? We said earlier, we walked up to this facility, you come past the racetrack, and then you see this ground sitting in the middle of it. And, you know, it's a world-class facility.
It is, and there's plans for even more world-class facilities to be added to this. The Gilgronis have struck up a wonderful partnership with the Circuit of Americas here, with a long-term relationship and a commitment to, as you saw, to entertain the crowds beyond just the rugby. They really want to give this home crowd a true American sporting experience, and this venue is just the place to do that.
Liz and the fans are appreciative, and the crowds are growing, and they will grow as this team has gone over quite a transformation. Again, last year, Austin Elite, they were winless on the season. I don't think there's any chance, the way these guys are trending now, that will happen again. Deep kick from Silva. Taken at the back. Van Vuren carries and trucks the ball forward. He's a very good ball carrier.
Taken back.
Back to Schulte. Has to go onto his right foot. Drives the ball straight down the field. And here he is. We have a substitute straight away. The All Black making a massive impact on the field. What a great carry by Frank Halai. Ilan Puddick. Jones with the chip. Excellent option. It looks like he was interfered with. The referee says no. As they put the ball back. It'll come back out to the 22, but talk about an impact coming on the field straight away.
First touch of the game for Frank Halai. We mentioned, James, already that we have some high-class players still to come into this squad. This man is one of them. And just put his head down and run through. Brilliant play. Great start to the second half. Just what they would have wanted.
And that ball was taken back. So it will be an Austin scrum. And what a statement. Frank Halai, he's a mountain of a man, 6'5", 231. And he's a twinkle toes on his feet as it looks like he has come on in the midfield. He is playing 13, so he's replaced Tagive.
Halftime substitution for Austin, number 23, Frank Halai.
Yeah, Tagive not having his best game tonight. He's a wonderful player. Just a couple of lapses in defense and concentration, gave away a few penalties. He may very well be injured, but we have seen him play better than he has tonight as well.
See Halai saying, give me the ball again. I think we know where this is going.
Yeah. Come on.
And that's what you need after half-time. You need a big-time player to put his hand up and change the momentum of a match. You can flush the entire 40 minutes from the first half down the drain with plays like that. Good scrum. Torrealba. Straight short boy to Halai. The ball is available. Lots of pressure though at the breakdown from the Warriors, and it looks like they've turned the ball over. Just a small knock on, but good work at the breakdown again from this Warriors side.
Knock on by Utah.
Halai putting his hand up again, trying to carry this team on his shoulders. They do need to be mindful of that, James, that they don't necessarily overuse him. He's going to be heavily marked. They already know what a caliber of player he is coming in. And they can take a lesson from San Diego with Martin Nonu. His first game of the season, he rarely took a run himself. He was a distributor. He was used as a decoy because they knew that the defense would be focused on him, and it allowed space for the players around him.
I'm sure he'll fall into that role here as you see one of the better attacking opportunities you have. Midfield scrum. If they can hold, but a massive push. Torrealba comes darting away. He's got a 2-on-1. The ball needed to go slightly earlier, but Silva is able to recycle. Good attacking opportunity. McIntosh picks towards the goal line. Ball sits up at the back. Little short jab, and the try is scored. What an answer from this Austin Gilgronis side. Straight back into this match.
It's exactly the start they wanted, James, in this second half. They needed that. And we said they're still very much in this game. We see someone down injured, hope they're okay. But here, the lead-up work was what killed it. The defense of Utah just keeping their composure and patience here. That's what Austin need to do. They don't need to panic. And they've got the firepower just to bash their way over the line, as you see there. Number of forwards to do that kind of work. So that was a great all-over team effort there, resulting in that 5 points. Kick to come.
That is Tiana Rasmus. He was the try scorer. Looks like he's gone down on that neck or shoulder. Let's hope he can return to the action. As we see Puddick. Sorry, that's Torrealba. Torrealba, the kick is up. Inside the left-hand upright. Just like that, a tie ball game here at Bold Stadium.
There's only 5 minutes gone in the second half, and already the Gilgronis, they hit back and they bring it level. The crowd, there's a notable change in energy of the crowd and noise as well.
I think it was led off by that fantastic light show at halftime.
Well, it's still going here, James. They should just keep the lasers going the entire second half.
There's Schulte, puts up a huge up and under, great contestable kick. Messi at the back, Waters has to dive in over it. Does well, they'll look to clear here.
Ball's there.
Back to Silva. Silva tries to hook the ball across the touchline, doesn't get much purchase on it, so Utah, the great attacking opportunity and a fantastic line out.
Yeah, the pendulum's really swinging back and forth in this match between these two teams. See Utah now finding themselves with a prime attacking opportunity.
COTA finds Cullen. This is another good setup as they roll the ball around the side. Vandenberg has the ball at the back. They have to be careful they don't give away a penalty here. This is a perfect maul. The ball's at the back with Jensen now. The ball was taken down. Referee says it went down on its own, and it is held up and turned over. So well done by Austin.
Yeah, you can see it's a noticeable lift in intensity and confidence from this team, this home team in orange. And Brendan Rams coming in and adding his weight as well. But they're not out of jail yet. They've still got plenty of work to do to come out of their red zone, James.
Yes, they do. And as you see in the backfield here, Utah's got all their players dropped at the back. I don't think they'll do too much from inside their own 22, but it starts with the set piece. They were under a lot of pressure at the last scrum from the Utah side.
Bind. Set.
Good scrum. Saunatoga picks off the back, looks to go, driving over the 22. Naramatunga comes charging around the corner. Sorry, that wasn't Naramatunga, that was Brendan Rams. It's a big ball carrier. Silva hoists the ball up high. Taken at the back. That is the first time we see Povey with the ball in his hands today. Coming back down the short side. Good strong carry by Fisher. Just looking to use the second man here. Povey again. Whiting straightens but runs into a huge tackle. And an excellent counter ruck. And the turnover. Fantastic job with the breakdown. That was Dominic Akina first. And then Austin came in piling over the ball.
Entry, office.
Just watching some of the confrontation there between the opposing players. But again, you see a noticeable shift. You mentioned it before, definitely the momentum. They're playing with confidence and they're playing with controlled aggression at the moment, meaning they're not pushing it to the point. I'm talking about the Gilgronis, not pushing it too much to where they're giving away penalties.
Substitution. 3. Black 3.
Substitution. McClellan leaves the field. Tuiloma coming on into the front row.
Perhaps one of the larger front row forwards you'll see. Mammoth of a man. He's played Super Rugby with the Highlanders. He adds an impact for sure when he comes on the field. But Rams will have his first opportunity. Great attacking position for the Gilgronis. Goes up. And Messi at the back. Straight into the hands, but it did go forward. So referee is playing advantage as Austin looked to clean up. Lavasa flicks it around the corner. Puttock tries to find a seam in the defense. Just a bit slow to get to their feet though. Not many options here as Silva looks to go out the back. It's a nice strong carry by Abdelman. Slowing the ball down again though is Utah. And this charging defense just coming up on the front foot. They're going to have to change the point of attack here. Rams. Ducks and goes. Ball spits out the back. Very messy stuff. Can they do something from broken play? Oh, great offload. Sanatoga. Now Jones. Jones off the right foot. Looks on the inside and it is Halley. What a team try.
Austin on fire at the moment. Halley, what an impact he's had finishing that movement off. But again, we'll see the replay. Watch the work of Zinzan Ilan Puttock. He did it so well last week. Gets the ball standing still and then just that acceleration to get beyond the defense, setting up Halley. And Jones did extremely well there to get it back to Halley for a brilliant backline try, which really, you could say, came from nothing.
Absolutely nothing. There was very little they were able to do there. It was broken play. The ball spat out the back of the ruck from Tori Elba, and that's what you want. Just players like we saw last week. He's very dynamic for a 10, Zinzan Ilan Puttock. Able to create that little half gap, but Jones did it there. Jones stepped off his right foot, looked for support, and of course Halley is going to be there.
Well, he's very comfortable in contact, Puttock. He's not shy. He's happy to take it to the line and then get tackled, and he's good while he's in the tackle of getting those offloads away.
Tori Elba. Makes no mistake of that, so the momentum has turned, much to the joy of the Gilgroniacs in the stands. 17 points to 0.
See, again, that work in contact. Had players all over him there, but so comfortably was able to get it to Halley, who then got it to Jones. And finishing off is the big man from New Zealand.
Deep kick, finds Silva at the back. As he pumps that downfield to the 40-meter line. And so, if you're Utah here, you've just got to try and just break this momentum that you're underneath. The COTA looks to throw. They do have a short line out here. As we see some more substitutions on the field. Saya Uhila is in the midfield. He's a strong ball carrier. Let's see if he gets the ball to begin with. Whiting straightens. Second man play. Stepping off the left foot was Fisher, but running into some good defense and messy defense as the ball comes back. And a small knock on, so the pressure from this Austin side and a little bit of disorganization from the Warriors.
Certainly was, James. They look like a different team at the moment, Utah. They've turned the tables on them, this Austin team, starting to defend the way that Utah was defending against them in the first half. A little taste of their own medicine. And quite frankly, Utah seem to be struggling for answers at the moment, but it's early days. They just took their foot off the pedal for a little bit. They need to be careful because Austin have their tails up.
So they do have a numerical overlap to the left hand at the moment. Big scrum needed from Austin, but a big push comes from the Warriors and they have wheeled the scrum. Referee will reset it. Huge amount of pressure coming from the new men on the field.
If you want to be rewarded for those, you just got to keep driving through. Yeah. If you want to get rewarded for those, we got to keep driving through. Otherwise, we're
He's not hooking. He's not hooking.
Utah seeing an opportunity here in the scrum.
Seconds in. Let's go. Togo, you got. Get it up. Togo, break. Crouch. Break fast. Get low.
Bind.
Torrealba. Reset the scrum again. Need a solid platform here. Ball comes in. That's better platform. The pressure coming on again, though. It spits out the back. Torrealba has to clean up. He's under a massive amount of pressure. Able to slip out and put the kick in the corner. That's good work as it finds ground. Oh, excellent stuff from the international player there.
Brilliant work from Torrealba just to get out of that tackle and get himself away from danger. And you saw the way he just took his time and shaped up, looked straight with whatever space that he had in behind, and a perfectly executed punt kick. Gets out of 2 tackles, sees the space in behind, long and left, and then nails it end over end. Gets the bounce that he wanted.
See another substitution. Blaine Poladaval goes to the sideline. Looks like Michael Basker's come onto the field. Just looking to roll this ball up towards the 22. Get himself in position for a box kick. Basker shapes the kick. Nice high contestable kick. Just goes out of bounds. So relieving a little bit of pressure there, but another good attacking opportunity for the Gilgronis.
It is. It was a good decision by Roderick Waters coming in. It's always a tough one when that ball, you're not sure if it's going to go out, if it's going to stay in. So just had the presence of mind to let the ball bounce.
Again, messy from the Gilgronis, but it does come back to Rams. Rams trying to fight through the tackle of Basker, and does so. Charging around the corner is Pedersen. Just see, this Utah defense isn't quite coming up as fast as they were before. Puddick, Halai explodes through the tackle. He is dangerous. Puddick, Aramai Toga.
20 out.
McIntosh plays a short ball. Good strong carry. Building phases nicely here. Trying to go straight through the middle. Comes back into Torrealba's hands. Torrealba dancing around the corner. Ball's there and available. This is good passage of play from the Gilgronis. Little tip on to Silva from broken play. Trying to get around Cullen and does so. And runs into a tackle from Gannon Moore. And Gannon Moore has stripped the ball in the tackle. So turnover ball here. Let's see what they can do. Flinging the ball wide. They've got a massive overlap here. Straightening well, looking on the inside. Feeding in and out, but a loose pass.
Scrum advantage.
The penalty advantage as he just lowers his shoulders and goes forward as Vaifale. Little 2-on-1 down the blind side. Schulte back inside. Whiting goes into play 9.
Stay.
Uhila. Met solid contact from this Oster defensive line. And giving away the penalty. So a chance here to just break this momentum, pin the ball in the corner and really work off their strong set piece.
That's better play by Utah. Again, more patience in their attack, changing the point of attack, attacking the weaknesses and the lack of numbers in that Austin defense. Using that short side you saw before, doing it really well. But it all started with the turnover by Gannon Moore all the way back in their 22. They showed some brilliant resolve to get themselves all the way up now within the 40-meter zone of Austin.
But really good job from this Austin side of being able to build phases. We talked about it earlier. You can just see there's 1 or 2 steps behind on this the Utah Warriors defensive line. They're not getting the outside coming up with that inside charge, and now that's giving them opportunities to play out a little bit wider. But they're just going to want to make sure they keep their discipline. They can't afford to give away too many penalties.
Let's go water off, please. Restart. Okay.
Mason Peterson looks to be leaving the field.
Wendy will take water after the
He's had another great game tonight.
So they have elected to go for the 3 points. Schulte has a very good boot. We've seen him do this many times this season. Lines this one up and puts it straight down the middle. So 3 more points, 17 points to 13. And we will go to a short break as the players take some hydration. We'll be right back in a few moments.
I think the training environment is what separates this place more than anything else. I think that a little bit of, there's like a team environment with a personalized training effect. So I think that's the problem with a lot of other places. It's one or the other. It's, we're all together in this class, but there's no specificity with each person, or it's only personal training, which really there's just no camaraderie. So this facility, the way we set it up, we try to get that team environment, that group camaraderie, along with a personalized, tailored program for your needs and your goals.
Culture is just a massive thing here. From person to person, we'll have a 30-year-old athlete who's crushing a 300-pound deadlift right next to a 45-year-old woman who's just doing walking lunges, and the cohesiveness between the two people really ties the whole gym together.
Broadcast is brought to you by OnWatch. See the signs, stop the cycle. Welcome back to Bold Stadium here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, where Utah are able to claw away at this Austin Gilgronis lead just through some ill discipline.
It's been a feature of the game, some ill discipline on either side. Still mixed in with plenty of exciting play.
You ready?
Feel like we're going to have a tight one all the way to the death here, James.
See Silva kicking this ball deep. Well taken at the back. Under enormous pressure though. Looking to set a screen. Ball comes out. Strong carry up the middle. Schulte is in the pocket. Schulte goes to his left foot and hoists a massive ball down the sideline. Excellent clearance.
That was a huge kick.
Come off. Substitution, 1.
Another substitution. For the Gilgronis, you see now emptying their bench. Only 20 minutes left to play.
See if Austin can win the line out. They've had real troubles today with their line out. Again, very messy at the back. Basker snipes the ball out. Oh, great work there from Basker. Probing play at the back of that line out, but another very messy line out from the Gilgronis.
Well, James, we've talked about the lack of discipline, the penalties that Austin were giving away, but we haven't mentioned too much about the trouble that they've had in their own line out. And this is what's going to happen. Just a little fortunate again that Utah didn't capitalize on that.
They'll be under all sorts of pressure here from Jensen. They go to the front. Good option as Rams gets the ball back. Rams, the big man charging, needs to stay in field. Does well to stay in field. Gilgronis on the front foot. Here's Akina. Akina slips out of the tackle. Still going. Lowers his shoulder and runs over someone. He's not big, but he is very effective. Torrealba out the back. Oh, that's just messy. But referee was playing advantage, so they'll come back over to the penalty. That was Dominic Akina. They've talked about him a lot, this Austin team. He came out of the combine system, Mark.
Hey, they're very excited about this. Number 6 for Austin. You can see the athleticism. He actually has had a lot of rugby experience and played football in university as well. He's got the benefit of that experience too. But from what we've been told, he's athletically a freak of nature.
And he's not the biggest guy, but he uses his speed to his advantage in the loose. I think they told us he ran a 4.3840 or something during the combine, so that was enough to turn a few heads or at least double check the stopwatch.
Yes, that's fast.
Rams able to take this cleanly, and it does go to Akina, but confusion at the back, and Rams has to clean up again. Torrealba to McIntosh, winding up some steam, going over the top. A little bit flat there, off of 10, and Naramaitonga has nowhere to go but just try and bury the ball up the middle. McIntosh again, lowers his shoulder, frees the offload, well done. Lavasa still fighting through the tackle, just building phases nicely here, this Austin side. Puddick steps off the left and looking for support. Still going, Puddick. Lavasa just carries up the middle. McIntosh dives over the top, and it is stolen, but no.
You were fine, he needs to roll first.
Referee said tackle, it didn't roll away initially, so a good opportunity to extend the lead here, Mark.
Certainly is, James. It's amazing how, again, just back and forth this match is, and how this pendulum, it's more like a metronome than a pendulum at the moment. And Torrealba doesn't normally have much trouble with these, so you'd have to back Austin to take a 7-point lead with just over 15 minutes to go. Things are looking good, but as Utah have shown, they can easily just come straight back in the match.
Again, it came from nothing. Their attack had gone 2 or 3 phases, nothing had happened, and then it went into their number 10's hand. Zinzan Ilan Puddick is playing out of his skin tonight.
And you saw that line out as well. Took some creativity. Okay, things aren't working the way we're doing it. Let's keep it simple. And ended up with Rams running 40 meters down the other end of the field.
Torrealba makes no mistake of that. The Austin Gilgronis extend their lead to 20 points to 13. Closing in on 15 minutes left to go, and you can feel the momentum and the energy in the stadium completely behind the Gilgronis.
Yeah, this is certainly what Austin needs for their home crowd to build throughout the season.
Silva takes the ball at the back, not able to clear, so they'll need to set up a few phases. Nice carry, Abdelmon.
Step back.
Silva is in the pocket. They've chosen to use him on the clearance kicks. He's got a nice boot as he looks to hook that back towards the touchline. Not able to find touch. So the ball slung across field. Looking to go back down the blind side is Schulte. Schulte finds a good kick and a good clearance kick down the sideline. Sorry, grubber down the sideline. I believe that was Povey. Good show of skills there.
Just like that, as we mentioned, look where Utah have now found themselves. Applying pressure to Austin on their own, well, 10 meters out, and now with the line out, which hasn't been working particularly well for Austin tonight.
Just keep your gap, forward, stay out.
Decided to go for the short line out here. Limit the options, 3-man, and they go over the back. Straight into the hands of Baska. Baska rolling towards the goal line. Can he get the ball down? Referee says held up. Baska, he's sniffing around the back of the lineouts, isn't he?
Sniffing indeed. He knows there may be opportunities with this struggling Austin lineout. Just see again. I mean, hard to determine what the error was there. It was a missed throw, miscommunication, a poor lift. Either way, Utah now with a chance to equalize.
The lineout's real point of concern for this team. Now, got plenty of players stacked out to the left here. Utah has brought on Dominic Tulono as well in the midfield. He's a powerful runner.
So when I say bind, you need to bind it.
If he's not binding, he goes
Gannon Moore. We haven't seen much of him in this game.
I'm ready, but
It's almost impossible to stop from 10 metres out. He's parked in behind the scrum.
Are you ready? Are you ready? We're ready, we're ready, we're ready. Let's go.
Starts with a good set piece.
Kicking him, Mikey.
Seconds in.
Finding the shoulder. Okay,
Yeah. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Scrum feed. Ball's available. Referee's playing advantage. Yep. Front row went straight down, so penalty advantage here. Basker shapes to go quickly. The interesting option here, Mark.
We'll see if it pays off.
I like the option.
I like the option too. I think they've at times had the better of this Austin scrum. See McIntosh still on the field. Is he fatiguing?
Crouch.
It's a tough place to defend from, especially if the ball comes out to the back line so close to the try line, James.
That's a good shot there. McIntosh to Loma, the Highlander connection. Does well to stay up, but the scrum, too much pressure here. Basker looks down the short side.
Offside advantage, number 9.
There's a penalty advantage as Schulte hands the ball off to Moore. Moore. Ball still there and available. Uhila just lowers his shoulder, tries to move forward. Around the corner, just working around nicely here, building phases. Short ball, strong short ball, that's Tulomo. Cullen. Still going round the corner, not going anywhere. Good defense though from this Austin side. Uhila looking to free his arms through the tackle. Going over the back, little chip and chase from Schulte. Where will this bounce? Straight into the hands, but the penalty advantage was there. Offside, and the referee will have a word here. Too many repeat infringements.
You came around. You came around.
There's a long advantage. I believe it's from the original offside at the scrum from Torrey Alba.
Time off.
Good call though, they were going backwards. There wasn't any advantage gained from this Utah side other than just going through phases. Let's have a look at this highlight.
Time off, please. Just your tapping.
Good little deft touch over the top. He's got good vision, Schulte, from a 10. You saw in the first half, he nearly created something out of nothing with a little chip over the top. So it'll all start with this scrum. Austin were under a lot of pressure in the last scrum.
Here we go, boys. Let's go, hold on. Let's go. Big push, JC. Big push, believe. Let's go. Let's go.
Crouch.
Whoop.
Bind.
Listen to me, down, Lino.
Set.
Free kick is there.
Come on. Free kick, boy. Let's go.
Basker goes quickly. Cullen met in a huge tackle by Halai. Lots of pressure at the breakdown though from Austin. It's messy. Ball does come back to Lomo. The big man charges, driving towards the goal line. Oh, just messy though. And it's flicked out the back to Jones to see what he can do. He's dangerous from broken play. But a huge relief for this Austin side. Levasa. Torrealba puts this down towards the halfway line. Taken it back by Povey. Povey finds Moore. Moore, let's see what he can do. Moore straightening. Good strong carry by Moore. Coming back down the blind side. Not many options here. Wilson. Wilson tries to run over the top of Lavasa. Uhila straightens, runs, takes 2-3 players with him. Oh, great carry up the middle. He's got support on the inside from Basker. Basker heading towards the goal line. Can he reach? No, he can't. He's off his feet at the moment. They have to be careful here. Again, Basker igniting this attack. Van Vuren heads towards the goal line. And it's held up. Brilliant work there from the Warriors.
Was indeed, and starting with Povey, we haven't seen much of him this game. But sliding through on that counter-attack and then releasing Basker. What about the try-saving tackle? You'll see in a moment from Gabe Farley. There you see him just slipping through, does well to hold on, 2v1. And then it was Gabe Farley saves the day. That was a certain try. Still some time left, but imagine if they were able to hold out, how momentous that effort from Farley will be in the end.
And it's come from interesting to see, you know, good nines find themselves in positions, and Basker, since he's come on the field, has kind of ignited the attack for this Utah side.
Yeah, you mentioned before he's really got a nose for where the play's got great anticipation of where the play's going to be, where he needs to position himself. And just a great supporting player as well. Why players like that end up with a very large try tally.
I was talking to the coaches before the game. They really enjoy having Basker in. He came off a summer program with the Kansas City Blues and then managed to land himself a contract. He was at Nolga last year. Just got a great work ethic and work rate. Someone you want to bring on the field. So, good attacking opportunity. They got Vaifale parked on the left-hand side of the field and plenty of numbers out to the right.
Well, it's not just a good opportunity, James. This is one of the most dangerous places to defend. Wow. That's a huge scrum for Austin.
Dropping the bind is the call from the referee. So McIntosh wins that one. And what a opportunity for Austin. See on the far side, not able to keep his bind up. McIntosh, he's pumped.
He is. He showed some great longevity in this match as well. Played nearly a full 80 minutes. This team has certainly benefited from his experience.
Silva kicks down to the left-hand side of the field. So with around 5 minutes left to play here, Austin still in front, 20 points to 13. There wouldn't be many pundits that would have picked this game.
And this is a huge line out too for Austin, James. Still 5 minutes left to play. That's plenty of time for Utah to hit back and then hit back again if need be. And they will be targeting this struggling line out of Austin's.
And again, very messy, but lucky there. It was they have no answer. This defensive line out, we keep talking about the errors from Austin, but it's not Austin. It's the excellent work by this Utah side. The experience of Cullen and Jensen is just paying tribute to that.
Yeah, that's a great point. We really need to give them some credit as well. They've been all over this line out, causing a nuisance of themselves. John Cullen has played most positions apart from front row in this pack.
Crouch! Bind! Look at that. You saw that. What's he doing, man?
Meanwhile, the clock continues to tick.
You got it. Thank you.
As we're set up for a thrilling finish here, the crowd are on the edge of their seats.
Time off, please.
They haven't really seen their team in this position for quite a long time.
Time back on. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Early engage, yes, referee calls early engage, and they're off. He didn't actually tap the ball there, so we'll go back.
He seemed to just get the ball and run, literally.
Interesting, they're taking the scrum.
Time off, please.
There's the man there, the All Black, making an immediate impact tonight.
When Wick comes on,
I'd say both him and McIntosh have had pretty tidy games in their debuts.
Yes, Halai's been huge in this second half. Not just in attack, James, but defence. You see some of the tackles he's made, crucial times.
You're outside.
Hey, we'll beat him with pressure, boys. Let him play their Let's go.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
We're able to feed. Big scrum from the Warriors. It spits out the back. They're lucky there. Waters looks to go upfield. Tries to run through the tackle, rolling and getting an extra movement on the ground. Nice run by Akina to Rams. Straight over the top is Cullen. Just looking to get out and put themselves in a position to be able to kick this. Lavasa, under 2 minutes left. Just marching the troops around. Can they hang on to the ball? Torrealba kicks to Moore. Moore unable to handle the ball, and all over him is Waters. But Waters unable to handle that in the end.
Well, that was the pressure from Waters. You see him screaming through. And I can bet you that Moore had one eye on Roderick Waters, like a flash. Just misjudged it slightly, but under the huge pressure of Waters. And then unfortunately, just on the ground, a little knock on. So still an opportunity for Utah, albeit way deeper in their territory than they would like to be.
So, referee signaled under 3.5 minutes left to play. This is a massive facet of play here. It's all to play for, 20 points to 13. A converted try would draw us level. But there'll be a lot of pressure in this scrum from this Austin Gilgronis pack. Oh, massive scrum from the Warriors. Referee was playing advantage. They skipped the ball out the back. Moore coming around the corner, trying to get round Halai, unable to get round Halai and Farley. Trying to show patience. Schulte, short ball. Uhila. Patience needs to be shown here. Back down the short side. Whiting steps off the left foot, goes back on the inside to Povey. Povey driving upfield. This is good work from the Warriors. Good patient attack. Wilson. Good second man play, just untidy at the back there. Needs to find support. Austin's on the front foot at this ruck, but the ball's still there and available. Uhila trying to free his arms, and does free his arms. Van Vuren. He's isolated though. Yeah, diving over the top there. Austin was in excellent position for the poach, and they throw the ball away and cost themselves another 10 meters here. That's ill discipline.
It's not just ill-discipline, James. That is just really silly play, and it's unnecessary. There's 1.5 minutes, says the referee, to play. We thought by our clock that that might have been the last play, but still, no excuses to give those kind of penalties away and give Utah this opportunity. Now look, with that kick, they find themselves all the way back down, about 10 meters out from the try line. This is an amazing finish.
It comes from patient attack from this Utah side. That's the experience of some of their leaders. Schulte is marshalling his troops around the field, showing great patience, running 2 lines of attack, but here it is. Utah's lineout's been strong the entire game. Let's see what they can do.
Literally all these Austin fans on their feet.
Look at COTA. The maul is up and the maul is driving. Tuloma has the ball, penalty advantage, and there is Tuloma at the back with the ball, driving towards the goal line. Tuloma dives and scores at the death. Utah!
Heartbreaking stuff for Austin, but it was their own undoing. They had control. You see this drive, I mean, it was virtually unstoppable. The only way to stop that is by dragging it down, as you see by the arm from referee out for advantage. That was always going to happen, and it started with that ill discipline way back in Utah's half, and they were able just to piggyback off that. A big kick from Schulte to get them all the way down, and now this to equalize.
Schulte. Ball is up, conversion is successful, and that is it at the death. Utah pilfers the win from the Gilgronis' hands. Heartbreak from the Gilgronis, but what a finish from the Warriors.
It was. That showed pure class, patience, experience from some of their leaders in the team to come scrambling back. And we said at halftime, the way this game is going, it's back and forth, and it was always going to be a close one.
Close one it was, and 20 points apiece. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back in a couple moments.
Rugby fans, rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
Welcome back to Bolt Stadium here at Circuit of the Americas, and we had a laser light finish to that game. Utah Warriors clinching the draw away from this Austin Gilgronis side, right at the finish, 20 points apiece. How about that finish?
You can't get any closer than that. 20 points to 20. Heartbreak for this home team and the crowd, but you know, they can be really encouraged by the effort of their home team. It's improving and it's improving. Yes, they didn't win, but a draw is better than a loss.
And there we see the man of the match performance from Zinzan Ilan Padak. We talked about it multiple times. He was able to create something from nothing on 2 of the tries, basically, but he was just that steadying presence they needed.
He was. You could tell in the first half that Utah had done their homework on Padak, the way that he attacks, and they tried to thwart the way that he. I mean, they really came through and pressured him, and it just showed a lot of patience and experience by him just to handle that, take that on his shoulders, and he really stepped up in the second half.
Yes, he did. And that will do it from us here, from Mark Stabina and the entire crew here. I'm James Patterson saying good night and thanks for watching.